Welcome to Beat Diabetes. I'm Dennis Pollock, and today we're going to have testimony time. I'm going to read several comments. They're all exciting testimonies of what people have experienced. So here we go. This first person says, I have done exactly what you suggested and said without informing my doctor. I succeeded, and my A1C level is now below 6.5, even sometimes after eating sweets. So he's not doing exactly as I say, but he is below the diabetic level. And he says, I have followed Dr. Jason Fung point by point. I've done this. Diabetic medicines cause hypo levels, so I'm not now taking any medicines. My blood pressure and cholesterol levels without any medicines are totally normal. That's kind of amazing. A lot of people experience higher cholesterol when they do a keto diet. This person didn't. He's let normal cholesterol. Good for him. Blood pressure, normal. He says, I feel better, fitter, and happier. I totally recommend what you are saying. I also keep checking on my parameters through regular tests. Thank you for your podcast. He says, I think every diabetic should follow your advice. I'm now 73 years old and have suffered diabetic complications even after following my doctor's advice earlier. Hence, doctors also do what you've advised if they're diabetics, but they say their patients want medicines without lifestyle changes. So what he seems to be saying is that there are probably a lot of doctors that are doing the kinds of things you recommend, but they don't stress that to their patients because they know their patients want a medicine. Give me a medicine. That's all I want, and I'll be happy, and send me on my way. Don't tell me to change. Don't you tell me to change. I'm not going to change. I've been eating this way and living this way for 55 years, and there's nobody going to tell me to change. And so he says a lot of doctors have enough sense that when they get diabetes, they'll change their lifestyle, but they don't push it on people because they're afraid people won't accept it. Well, even if you think they won't, it's still your duty to recommend it and let people know about it. Then it's on them. But you at least have to talk to them about it, in my humble opinion. All right, testimony number 2. I hope you see this comment. Since it's 3 years after you made the video, he left this comment under. He says, I'm so grateful to you. I'm watching all your videos, and as a newly diagnosed diabetic, you've helped me to take my blood sugar in 3 months down from the 300 to the 100s to now a few double digits. So apparently that's fasting glucose. A few times he's been in the 90s, apparently, but he started out in the 300s, and then he got into the 100s occasionally in the 90s. He says, that's just 3 months. Exclamation point. Exclamation point, exclamation point. Let me say it again. That's just 3 months. Thank you so much. Well, not everybody's going to get that fast of results, but everybody can get results. And you can sense this guy's thrilled. And so he left a comment under one of my older videos. Says, I'm watching all your videos. And he's excited, and he's seen results. Well, that's what it takes. The old saying says, nothing succeeds like success. When you taste some success, you want to keep on going. If someone told me, and I was terribly out of shape, you just need to do push-ups, Dennis. Push-ups, push-ups, that's it. If you do push-ups, you'll lose weight, you'll be in perfect shape. And I started doing push-ups like crazy. But after 6 months, I'm still as big as I ever was, still as much out of shape, which probably wouldn't happen. But anyway, if I see no success, it's going to be hard to be motivated to stay the course. And that's where your glucose meter comes in, and your A1C tests and lab tests come in, because they'll tell you. Now, I'm not saying you should be so nervous that you test yourself every day, although in the early stages it would probably be good to do that in terms of your meals to see which meals spike you and which don't. So you have to be a little patient, though. Nevertheless, when you've been doing it a month or two and you're seeing the numbers go down, I mean, this guy went from 300s to 100s in 3 months. That meant at month 2, he was doing considerably better than he was at the beginning. And at the third month, he's doing better still. And he's seeing it on his glucose meter. He's seeing it with his A1C. And he is motivated. You don't need to twist his arm anymore to eat this way, to eat the low-carb way, to do the time-restricted eating, whatever all he is doing. He says, I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much. 3 months' time. Victory. The victory that is such a joy to human beings. We were made for victory, by the way. God made us to experience victories in our life. If you've never experienced any victory, I feel sorry for you. I've experienced a number of victories. Yeah, I've known some failures too, so I'm not trying to say I've never failed. But usually, if you're wise, your failures will just set you up for your victories later on. All right, third testimony. Before I discovered my diabetes, I would wake regularly in the early hours, make a drink of beef stock and the contents of an instant noodle pack, along with 3/4 of the noodles in a cup, and then go back to bed. So noodle soup in the middle of the night as a midnight or middle night snack. He says, I did not know the damage that I was doing to my health. The knowledge you have given me has not only reversed my diabetic condition, but also healed my heart disease. Wow, healed my heart disease. A lot of people think that's counterintuitive. Sure, low carb will help you with your blood sugar, but it's going to mess up your heart because now you're not afraid to eat meat. But not only did his blood sugar improve, his heart condition improved. He says, my heart disease was one time at a 20% function. I've lost 30 kilograms. My heart is now at 60%. Thank you, Dennis, for sharing your wisdom. Well, I never cease to be amazed at how many things get fixed beyond just your blood sugar when you start eating the way you were supposed to be eating all along. You know, it'd be one thing if I thought I was really sacrificing something to eat the way I eat. I don't see it that way. I see it as, well, I'm just eating the way I should have been eating when I was 22 years old. I'm just eating the way I should have been eating when I was 35 or 45. I'm just eating the way we're supposed to be eating. So don't tell me I've sacrificed. You know, someone may look at me and the way I eat and the diet and say, oh, poor Dennis. Poor Dennis. He sacrificed so much. Poor guy. He sacrificed so much. No, I haven't. I'm just eating the way I'm supposed to, the way I should have been all along. And there are so many tasty low-carb dishes and even desserts. You got to kind of cool it on the desserts. Don't go too crazy, but once or twice a week, have a low-carb dessert and treat yourself. And one of the joys is the fact that you can eat these keto desserts, low-carb desserts, and you can test your blood sugar an hour, hour and a half afterwards, and it went nowhere. Didn't go anywhere. So don't waste your time feeling sorry for poor old Dennis. I'm eating as well as I ever did. I just made some changes. I'm enjoying my life, enjoying my meals, and thrilled to be beyond diabetes. I've got better blood sugar control now than I did 20 years ago. And you can as well. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be athletic. And the reality is, even though being slim will help, you can start bringing your blood sugar under control while you're still obese. I interviewed a guy years ago on this channel, and he was a big guy. I think he must have weighed over 300 pounds. But he had his blood sugar under control, and he was no longer having high glucose. Now, he needed to lose some more weight. I didn't say that to him at that time. He did. But he had his blood sugar under control. So if you're way overweight, you're 300 pounds or more, and you're saying, well, maybe when I get down to 175, I can have decent blood sugar. No, sir. No, ma'am. You don't have to wait till you get down to 175. You can have it basically in a few weeks' time just by cutting the carbs way down. Now, you may still have some underlying issues from your obesity, and certainly I wouldn't recommend you stay there, but boy, you don't have to wait long to taste some victory. Let me say it again. You don't have to wait very long to start tasting victory, but you'll never know if you've got victory or not unless you test your blood sugar. Get A1Cs. Test your fasting glucose. Find out where you start, and then when you go low carb, keep checking it. Watch the victory appear before your very eyes. On my Bible channel, we're now offering audio podcasts of the Bible studies Ben and I have in the mornings. An audio podcast means there's no video to watch, and that means you can listen to it while you're doing other things. If you're out and about, you can play it through your car stereo while driving. You can listen through earphones while you walk or exercise at the gym. And if you're at home and going to be in the same room for a while, you can simply put your phone on speaker, or you could buy an inexpensive Bluetooth radio and pair it with your phone, or do the same thing with a Bluetooth speaker. So welcome to our home as you drop in on Ben and me as we study the Bible together.